So, yeah, here's the thing nobody really talks about. Once you start letting AI tools into your workflow, your repo starts to mutate. At first, it's a couple README updates, prd.md, style.md for reference, but you blink and suddenly you're looking at your project and half the files are these weird, half-finished Markdown scraps, migration.md, logs.md, oldplans.md, docs.md you don't even remember asking for. Your code base, it's like a notebook exploded in the middle of your IDE. Just be mad, right? And honestly, I used to think that was just how solo dev with AI works. You want to be productive, you end up with context everywhere, and before you know it, you've got more .md files than actual code. But the longer I did it, the more it started killing my focus. And not gonna lie, is what pushed me to create a rules.md. I didn't set out to invent a system. I just hit a wall. I wanted one place, just one, where I could tell my AI tools, here's how I work, here's what's non-negotiable, here's what never to touch. Just real quick, I'm Daniel. Been living in the iOS trenches for, over 8 years now. Started off freelancing, working with clients, figuring out what actually works. But after Dub 25, I kind of flipped the switch and went all in on solo dev life. Since then, I've shipped a bunch of my own apps, started putting everything out there in public, and honestly, these days pretty much all my energy is going into Crafters Lab. And yeah, it isn't just another tutorial site or another AI clone farm. This is my actual home base for solo devs who treat AI like a real teammate, not just a vending machine. And yeah, if you're part of the Patreon crew, huge thanks. And heads up, everything's moving over to crafterslab.dev. And honestly, if you want to get in as an early member and lock in your membership, now's kind of the sweet spot. So, yeah, look, here's the thing nobody really tells you. These tools, like Claude Code or Cursor, they're absolute monsters at generating code, but they have no idea how you build. Like zero. They don't know the shortcuts you always take or the little quirks you live by. They don't know you refuse to let a file grow past 200 lines, or that you never want to see another third party package sneaking in when you're not looking. And honestly, if you don't spell this stuff out, the AI is just going to wing it. And not going to lie, sometimes it'll go off the rails. You end up with code that looks kind of impressive, but totally ignores how you want to do things. Like, you ever have one of those moments where you let an agent loose and then spend 2 hours cleaning up after its helpful suggestions? Yeah, been there. That's really where rules.md comes in for me. It's not this huge, intimidating rule book. It's more like, I don't know, a sticky note I leave for myself and the AI. Hey, here's how we do things around here. No surprises, no chaos. It's for me, for future me, and for the agent. So we're all playing by the same rules. Over time, it just becomes this weird little safety net. Every time I run into a problem, every time I catch myself wishing the AI knew my vibe, I just toss a line into rules.md. Sometimes it's just, don't refactor this, trust me, or split up big files always. And yeah, sometimes I'll add something super specific like no Swift UI previews ever. I don't even question it anymore. If it matters, it goes in the file. The wild part, you start to see the AI actually get you. I mean, it's never perfect, but it stops making the same old mistakes. It remembers the important stuff, the stuff you used to waste all your energy repeating every single session. It's like onboarding a real teammate, but one that actually reads the notes. And the longer I do this, the more I realize it's not just rules, it's a living playbook for my entire process. Every lesson learned the hard way, every weird little workflow trick, every don't ever do this again, all of it ends up in rules.md. And for what it's worth, it saved me more hours than I can count. Not gonna lie, it's kind of wild how much smoother everything gets when the tools know what actually matters to you. Here's what really sold me. When I run a /init in Claude Code or fire up a session in Cursor and point them at my documentation folder, the PRD, the article, the rules.md, the whole vibe changes. It's not random feature generation anymore. The agent respects my structure, my boundaries, my tone. When it drifts, I don't write a new prompt from scratch. I just update rules.md, rerun /init, and suddenly everything's back on track. And not gonna lie, having this file in my .docc folder inside Xcode just feels right. It's where I live already. It's not buried in Notion. It's not some cloud doc I'll forget about. It's right there with my code. It's part of the project. Every new feature, every tweak, every lesson learned, it all lives here. When I come back to a project after weeks away, I'm not lost in a pile of .md debris. I'm home. It's wild how much calmer the work feels. No more Markdown sprawl. No more, where did I put that note? No more repo that looks like a wiki threw up. Just one file, always up to date, always in sync with how I actually build. Look, I know the word rules sounds harsh, but it's not about locking things down. It's about giving your AI tools and yourself the same clarity you'd give a real teammate. Here's what matters. Here's what's off limits. Here's why I do things the way I do. That's it. It's alignment, not control. It means the agent works with you, not against you. You get your focus back and you actually ship features instead of cleaning up after yesterday's AI detour. If you're a Crafters Lab member, the rules.md template is already in the lab. Feel free to grab it, try it, remix it. Even if you're not, seriously, just try making your own. Doesn't have to be fancy. Even a few lines right now will save you hours later. And if you ever find yourself staring at a repo that's more .md than code, just breathe, delete the sprawl, drop a rules.md, and see what happens. All right, so if you're still listening, honestly, you're a legend. And yeah, look, if anything I said hits home, you ever get lost in your own Markdown jungle, or you're just tired of chasing context every single day, go check out crafterslab.dev. No joke, that's where I put everything I wish I had back when I started out. There's a Discord where you can actually hang with solo devs, keep each other accountable, and see what's working beyond all the marketing noise. And yeah, I'm always dropping resources tutorials in there. App blueprints, Figma foundations, AI workflows, growth guides, all designed for builders. Plus the Notion workspace. There is the playbook. It's my live command center. For every app I build, every .md file, every real process right there. SwiftBrain is a curated Swift UI library to fine-tune OSS models, or power up your own MCP to give Claude Code or Cursor the right context to really help you, not just guess. And now there's OpsLab, the spot for agent-powered workflows, live systems, templates, and playbooks to level up your solo dev process. So go ahead, tweak it, break it, totally make it yours. If you want to be part of it while it's all still taking shape, or you just want to lock in your spot before it's out of beta mode, now is kind of the sweet spot. So if you're looking for a real home base for the indie dev stuff nobody else shows, seriously, come hang out. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being part of this. And if you have your own stories or weird Markdown hacks, drop them in the comments. I really do read everything, so yeah, keep crafting. Don't let the .md chaos win. Peace.